bow, 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 bow. So so I made this series. I didn't know it was gonna be a series. I started this series where I just wanted to share my day count to keep me accountable. If I think that I can keep my day count a secret, that's the easiest way for me to think that nobody's watching.
I want you to hold the mic closer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah. So I have this slogan that I start every video out with where I say, today is day blank. So today is day 299, crystal meth free, clean, serene, and always Dean. Bow, 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 bow. And today I'm here on the Dopey podcast with Dave Manheim. I am so excited to be here, Dave.
I'm so excited too, Dean. I love your bow, bow, bow.
Yes.
Were you doing any like social media stuff before the journey 299 days ago?
Yes, absolutely. So I have been making social media content since 2013. I started with my show Bathroom Kiki, where I stood in my bad bathroom lighting when I lived in a studio somewhere in the butt crack of Brooklyn. And
is that what you'd say? Somewhere from the butt crack of Brooklyn?
Normally I'd say somewhere all the way behind God's back because it's so far away. But I started this series called Bathroom Kiki, where I would just stand in my bathroom and talk about makeup, and that quickly evolved into me getting little brand things. Some brands would send me some things, and that was awesome because I had just began my makeup career in 2013 as well.
Awesome.
So while I was receiving all these little brand packages, it dawned on me, oh, I can do this professionally. There's a way. There are other people doing it. Why can't I do it? So that led me into just creating beauty content for a while. Then I had a viral series named Basic Gay Vocabulary.
Nice.
Yeah, where I would translate English words into their gay equivalent.
Oh, give us a bit. But I'm gonna bug you to put the mic closer.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to keep bugging you because
no.
I don't want because you sound beautiful.
Okay.
Melodious.
Am I melodious?
I want the whole fucking.
You
nine.
want I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. You know what?
You're with me.
Now I know.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
I might say it again, but don't think
okay.
you're doing anything
No,
wrong.
no.
I just want that volume.
Thank you for getting you know exactly. This is your arena.
I know if you want to put the headphones on, because you'll hear when it goes away.
Oh, okay.
You want to try with the headphones?
You know what?
You want to try?
Now that you've told me exactly what it is, I'm going to be very conscious of it.
All right, but not want you to be overly self-conscious.
Don't worry. No,
right.
I'm not going to be like.
I want to hear exactly. That's what I tell most people. I tell them to blow the mic, but I didn't want to put you on.
You know what?
Yeah.
Honestly, and listen, from where I'm coming from, honey, I have blown the mic. Okay. But so
what was our gay vocabulary?
So it started out with this basic gay vocabulary. In English, yes. In basic gay, yes. In English, it made me so excited. In basic gay, it turned my pussy out.
Okay.
So I would translate. And the reason I got that from, I was sitting on TikTok one day and I just saw this Russian husband and his wife. The husband would say the word in English. The wife would say it in Russian. Regular words. Millions and millions of likes. And I was like, do I know any other languages?
I speak gay.
Fluently. Okay, exactly, honey. Yes. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that. And then the first video I made, I went to bed. I woke up and it had like 80,000 likes. So I said, I'm going to continue this series. So that series continued until I really fell deep into my addiction. Like I was struggling for a while. And this series that I have now, right, has just been born out of my need for accountability for myself.
What's it called?
It doesn't have, it's just, it doesn't really, it's my day count. It's a day count.
Dean's day count.
Yeah, I guess it's Dean's day count. But you know what? I think that people, I'm just another addict.
It's just you showing up.
I'm just showing up.
And it's a place to show up where people can keep track of you.
Not even people can keep track. I want to be able to see how I was feeling on day 161.
Okay.
Or on day 73. Because it's my first year. This is I'm learning so much in my first year,
sure.
Of recovery that you know, a lot of people, they share the big goals. They share the big end result. Oh, I'm sober for 4 years. I'm sober for a year. I said, you know what if I showed people every single day a little bit? I don't have to show them when I'm waking up or using the bathroom, but I'm going to a meeting. This is what I learned from my meeting. You know what I mean?
I think it's awesome. I mean, it's funny because I've been making this show for almost 11 years. And when we started, I had 4 months.
Okay.
So like
Yeah.
I had,
wow.
what is that? 4 months is 120
20
days.
days. Yeah.
So if I had been counting, now I have.
You have over like 10,000 days.
No, it's a 365 times
10 is 3,650.
Yeah, so it's around almost 4,000 days or something.
That's amazing.
But it would, it's like I should have done your series. My wife is like does hardcore Facebook shit.
Okay.
And my daughter like shames her for it all the time. And like she's like, "Mommy, you just want to post blah blah blah." And my wife says, "No, what I really like is like in 5 years, it popping up as a memory, and I've organized it here."
Absolutely.
But it's weird though, because when you said your basic gay vocabulary got 80,000 likes, I was like, damn, I want 80,000 likes, because it's like there is a crazy endorphin rush that comes with the fucking virality.
Let me tell you, and now that I've been recording my daily check-ins for over 200 days, 200 plus days. I think I started at day 24, right? I started recording. Just to see the keep going, congratulations, don't stop, keep going. That motivates me. That helps me to know that I can, not only am I staying clean, but somebody else who may have never even encountered meth or an addict in recovery, you know, sees me, and it destigmatizes the whole idea. Because a lot of people have this idea that an ex-crystal meth addict like myself, I am a crystal meth addict, and you know, I am still, even though I have 299 days, let me make it clear, I am an addict through and through.
Keep going. Yeah. My dad, I record with my dad every once in a while.
Yeah.
And he was talking about recovered addicts, and I was like, you know, I don't love the word recovered. I never loved the word recovered. But when's the first time you got high?
Oh my goodness.
You grew up where, in Harlem?
I grew up in Brooklyn.
You grew up in Brooklyn, then you wound up in Harlem?
I wound up in Harlem in 2019, but the first time...
Where in Brooklyn did you grow up?
I grew up in East Flatbush.
Okay.
All the way down at the end of the 2 line by Flatbush Junction, by Brooklyn College. I don't know if you've ever been out there. Anywhere.
I don't know either.
Yeah, so I grew up to 2 West Indian parents. My mom is from Trinidad and my dad is from Panama. Nice. And I grew up in a household where there was a lot of slang being spoken. Like my mom has this Trinidadian accent, and everything that she says has like an accent mark and a thing on top of it. And my dad speaks Spanish. And in this household was just culture and slang and just everything else except drugs. There were my parents never smoked cigarettes. They had a liquor cabinet, but they would never go in it. I was never exposed to drugs like that.
Were they church-going folk?
Not necessarily, no.
So no church, no fucking drugs, no booze, just like Brooklyn.
Every now and then a good glass of wine. Okay. You know what I mean? My mom, yeah. But so I would go to church with my neighbor, right? Her name was Miss Lily. My mom trusted me to go to church with her. She was a church-going lady. So I went with her. But my mom introduced me to this idea of God or my higher power at an extremely young age. I can remember being like 3 or 4 and praying, you know?
But not necessarily organized religion.
No.
More like something bigger than you kind of thing.
It's more
spiritual.
God. The thing that the higher power, I call my higher power God. And when I say higher power, my mom introduced me to the creator of the universe. You know, not in my opinion, you know, the one true living entity that created this entire thing that we're in. So I grew up in that household, right, where there was not a lot of alcohol, but there was a lot of God, a lot of slang, not a lot of cursing.
What kind of slang? Give us a taste.
I'll give you a little taste of the slang my mother would give me. She would give me things like, boy, don't make me die with laugh. You ever had doubles of roti? Oh, God.
I've had both.
You've had doubles and roti?
Yes, both.
When
doubles are the fucking best.
Ooh, you have your doubles with tamarind sauce and pepper or no?
Of course.
Okay.
I worked with a lady from Grenada.
Okay.
And she lived out in Brooklyn, and she'd bring in the doubles.
Ooh.
Describe what a double is exactly.
Honey, let me tell you something. If a double, it's like Trinidadians, West Indians, do not behead me in the comments. It's a tasty, like bread.
It's like a dumpling.
Yes, it's like a dumpling that they fry and they bread it, and then there's chickpeas inside.
Yeah, very rich. Delicious.
It's like a small little thing, but you get a little.
Anything called a double sounds fucking good.
Listen, okay, except honey, doubles, but no triples. Thank you, please. Okay, no triples, honey.
Why no triples?
I don't know. 3 ways. I've never really been.
Triples is too much, but the double sounds robust.
Okay, I live. The double does sound robust. Okay.
So your mom is into the roti and the double.
Yes, and the sauce. You ever had sauce?
I don't know.
Sauce is pigfoot. It's pigfoot inside of.
No, I haven't had it. But
let me tell you something. Down. If you ever go to Brooklyn during Labor Day, go find some sauce. They either have it with chicken foot, or pig foot, or chicken neck. Ooh, it's like this cucumbery, lemony, salty pig. Ooh, honey, it'll make you squeal.
Okay, it's a thing.
It's a thing. Yes.
So tell me more about growing up, and when's the first time you ever tried anything? But I want to hear. I don't ever get to hear this stuff. So take us to the inside of being of Trinidadian Panamanian descent.
Well, I got called a bati boy a lot.
When did that happen?
So I started getting called a bati boy real young because I had lots of bati boy energy from, I give a lot of bati man energy, in my day to day. But when I was younger, I started out as a young bati man. At around like 13, I would get picked on in the neighborhood. And that was my first introduction to like homophobia. And, I know homophobia is a real rampant thing in the West Indies, and my parents were not prepared,
Did you know you were gay before you were picked on for being gay?
I was kissing boys
at
6.
You knew right away.
I knew that I was a little effeminate. You know what I mean? I would pick flowers. I would kiss boys.
And just so anybody who doesn't know, Bati Boy is a
Batiman.
Bati. I mean, there's a famous old dance hall song.
Yeah,
where it's Buju Banton.
Bun Batiman.
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, I think he wanted to get down with the Batimans. I forget who even sings that, but I'm not even going to give him any thing. But Bati Boy is just a slang term for gay guy. Or Batiman, if you want me to break down the slang.
Yeah.
Right. Bati, a bat, right? It's just the Jamaican word for bat. Bati. Bati, bat, meaning penis. Meaning Batiman, penis loving man.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
and Bati Boy is an alliteration.
Bati Boy is like, younger.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right, sure.
We don't say like Bati toddler and Bati adolescent.
No.
It's just.
You're in the clear until you're like 13.
Oh, yeah,
and
absolutely.
Then it comes
honey,
down.
Yes. Listen, nobody. Honey, but when I did come out, when I did start revealing those parts of myself at 13, I came out with a bang. I came out in high school. In the 10th grade.
You went to high school in Brooklyn?
Yeah, all the schools that I went to were in Brooklyn. Actually, I understand. Okay. All the schools that I went to in Brooklyn, my parents sent me to a school out of my neighborhood in Dyker Heights, even though I grew up in East Flatbush. And I was one of 3 black kids in my elementary school, one of 7 in my junior high school. I grew up in a time where my kindergarten teacher could hit us, and with a ruler.
Was that like Catholic school or something?
I think so. I went to this kindergarten called God's Garden.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, no, let me say they would whip that ruler out and hit us with it. But I'm not even that old. I'm 36.
I think they're still allowed to do it.
Really? In Catholic school?
I don't know. That's my hunch.
Oh my gosh. So
anyone out there who goes to Catholic school or has kids in Catholic school or went to Catholic school, just write us at dopeypodcast@gmail.com. Let us know if you were allowed to be beaten, or if maybe you work at a Catholic school and you beat the children.
Listen, and if you can't do that, just put a ruler in the comment section, okay?
That'd be fantastic.
But yes, I 7 black kids in my junior high school, and then I went to high school where I was exposed to everybody. I was exposed to all different races, all different types of kids. I was exposed to drugs for the first time in my life, marijuana. There was this kid, his name was Skimmy, and he would do acid. And that was like, and he would just like, I guess, hallucinate. Skimmy. We used to call him Skimmy.
White kid?
No, black kid.
Black kid. Yeah. Why Skimmy?
I don't know. I think that he like had a thing for skim milk. So okay. We would call him Skimmy. And
he liked LSD.
Oh, he would drop acid and be hallucinating. And he was, at that time in high school, I was a very judgmental queen.
Keep going.
I was very judgmental. So I see this Skimmy. He would drop acid and he'd be high in the school. And my first reaction was always like, oh, he's a drug addict, or like, I don't want to be in class with Skimmy because, honey, Skimmy smells like weed all the time. And that was my first time being exposed.
Skimmy had the stigma.
Honey, he had the stigma, honey. And you know what?
They should have called him Stigma.
Stigmy.
Yeah.
You know what? He grew up to be like a multi-million-dollar recording artist.
No way.
Yes.
Who is it? Is it Buju Banton?
Let's find out, honey.
Who is Skimmy?
Skimmy grew up to be I can't even remember. Listen.
What kind of music does he make?
You know what? I think that he had more success directly after high school.
Okay.
So I really honestly cannot really remember.
Shout out to Skimmy.
Yeah, shout out to you, Skimmy. You were the one.
Did you get high with Skimmy?
Absolutely not, honey. Skimmy had the stigma and I wanted nothing to do with it. Okay. But Skimmy introduced my class to the scent of weed. So, that's when I was like, what is this?
You recognize it.
Yeah. So I was like, ooh, that's that stuff is that crack? But I knew. So then after high school, I went to FIT.
My dad teaches at FIT.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what does he teach?
He teaches earth science.
Oh, shit.
Have you ever taken earth science?
I have taken earth science in high school.
Not at FIT.
No, honey. Listen, earth science was too complicated for me. I was more into yoga.
I think people were forced to take his class. He still teaches there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How long has he been teaching there?
Forever.
Wow.
He's an old Jewish guy. His name is Alan Manheim.
Are you Jewish?
Yeah, extremely.
Ow.
Extremely Jewish.
I mean, love it.
Non-practicing, but 100% blood.
Really?
Yes.
I love that.
So you make it out of high school without doing drugs?
Yes.
Okay.
I make it out of high school without doing drugs, without really getting into any alcohol.
What was the dream? Like, why'd you go to FIT?
I thought I was going to be a fashion designer. I saw during high school, one of the most popular shows was America's Next Top Model.
Sure.
And
you watched this thing?
Honey, do you want the documentary?
Yeah.
Oh, bitch, yes. Of course, right? Absolutely. Do you want to be on top? No. Not anymore. But yeah, I watched it. So I thought that was going to be the direction. I saw the gays on TV over there doing fashion design, and I thought that's what I was going to do. But I wound up not getting into FIT. I had to pay for everything out of pocket. I stayed in the dorm.
Just down across the street.
Right there. There in co-ed. I stayed in the dorm right there on the 13th floor. My first roommate's name was Ross. And he had this addiction to seltzer water. So, and when I mean addiction, I mean like a crippling seltzer water addict. Like would come his entire side of the room covered. He drank this seltzer water named Zaz. Okay. I don't know if it still exists.
I don't know if it exists.
Anyway, yeah, but that was like let me tell you something. I was properly exposed to different types of white people in FIT. You know what I mean? That's like different types of gay people, white people, all different races and everything. And I still wasn't using drugs.
Seems like a very diverse and eclectic bunch over there.
Yeah, FIT, the nickname for FIT is Fags in Training.
Sure, I could see that. But you could see like there's a smattering of like multi-race people.
Yes.
You know, there's heterosexual guys there. You could see them. There's straight people. There's normal people. There's weirdos. There's skaters.
And that's honestly that experience.
It looked great. I walked through FIT every day
to
get the train. Not anymore, but when I was a kid, I walked up 27th Street every day to get the subway on 27th and 7th. And I'd be like, oh my God, look at these people.
Eclectic.
You know, and I never got to hook up with any of the women at FIT, which was always my dream.
You're straight?
And I'm totally straight.
Wow.
And it never happened. But you figure, yeah, I'm totally straight.
No. Okay, listen, I don't know. Somewhere in my gay mind, it's Pride Month and everybody's gay. I'm happy to meet you.
I'm happy to meet you too.
Yes, that's what's up.
So talk about FIT.
FIT was.
Wait, hold on. You were sure I was gay? Was that my vibe? Was I giving gay vibes?
No, you have great skin.
Oh, and that's an indicator of potential
homosexuality. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't even do anything. I don't even wash it.
You know, my goodness.
I know.
You know what? That's just a gift. Then
Thank you.
Just have,
Thank you, Jesus.
Have beautiful skin.
Thank you, sir.
All right,
I appreciate it.
That's the first thing I noticed.
Thank you. Nice.
So FIT was great. I got to express myself. I got to be gay. I got to be out and proud. Nobody was calling me a bati boy. Nobody was. It was I was gay and it was expected. I would show up as myself, and that was great. While I was at FIT, I worked nights at Starbucks in Union Square.
Sure.
I worked with this man named Figgy. We called him Figgy because his last name was Figueroa.
Okay.
And we did the night shift, and
was he a Dominican Figueroa or an Italian Figueroa?
He's a Dominican Figueroa.
Okay.
Yes, chubby Dominican. I still remember him.
Okay.
Honey, he would steal all the pastries and bring them home.
Figgy.
Yes.
Shout out to Figgy.
Shout out to Figgy. But Figgy, every couple of minutes, every hour or so, he would dip out the back for like 15 minutes. He was the manager. So he would dip out the back. And after a couple of months, I was like, what the fuck is he doing out there? Because I'm in here sweeping, dealing with the nighttime guests, and Figueroa is just out. So I went out there one time and he was smoking a joint. And I was like, oh, this is what you're doing out here. And he was like, do you want to hit this? And for the first time in my life, I smoked some weed, and then I went back and I enjoyed the rest of my shift. It was.
So how old were you?
I was 19.
Very late.
Oh yeah, is that late?
I think so. And no drinking.
No, I was never really. I would drink because you drank. If we were going out, if you had a drink, okay, I'll get what she's having.
But it wasn't a whole thing.
It was never like a need.
So first time you smoke weed, were you like, I like this? First
time I smoked weed, I feel like I didn't really experience the
high,
the thing that people say that they experience when they smoke weed. I just went back to my job, my night job of sweeping the floors in Starbucks, right? And that night, nothing felt different at all. But we continued to hang out, Figgy and I. I would go out in the back, and I'd take like a pull or a drag or whatever. I'd go out and smoke a cigarette. But it wasn't really ever something that hooked me, right? At that age, I would smoke every now and then. Then one day, a couple of my friends from Starbucks, the coworkers, we went to this girl's named Shiloh's house, and her mom and Shiloh smoked weed. And I can remember we went to Shiloh's house. It was me, Figgy, Shiloh, and her mom. And we smoked a joint. And this time it worked. Oh, yes, it worked. It was, I remember like when weed used to be like giggly.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? All day long.
The best.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That stage passes. But that's when it hit me, and that's when I was like, oh my God, I'm in love with this. I love this. This is what I've been looking for my entire life, to take the anxiety and the edge off. You know what I mean? Marijuana. Alcohol was too slow for me. I would drink. Didn't like the taste. But marijuana, I'd be like, oh, this is fun. I'm giggling. I'm having a great time.
It hit you right.
Yes.
No, me too.
Right.
Yes.
What's your experience with marijuana?
I loved marijuana. I smoked marijuana every day from probably 18 till I was 41.
Oh my god.
If I wasn't in detox or like jail, I was high.
Okay. Well,
I wound up becoming a horrible heroin addict and a methadone addict. And I dabbled with meth and coke and whatever.
Yeah.
But marijuana was my first true love. And I really regretted ever having doing anything else because it made it so now I can't do anything.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Yeah. So that was my first introduction to adulting outside of my parents.
You have a job. You learn that you enjoy the comforts of marijuana from time to time.
Right, from time to time. You know what I mean? But
do you go out? Are you on the scene in New York?
I would go to, not yet. I was still at FIT. I was still dorming. I was still young. I was still under the impression that I was still illegal. I couldn't drink legally. 21, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't really go out. I would hang out with my friends, but I was still underage, but
you were still fairly innocent.
Oh, honey, I wouldn't go so far as to say innocent.
You're just hanging out at Shiloh's house. You're not going out.
Well, let me tell you, honey, because at 19, that's when things took a turn for the freaky. So I was, I had this profile on this website. I'm not going to name the website, but
was it blowy?
No, it wasn't blowy. It wasn't blowy, but
do you know about blowy?
I don't know. What is blowy?
It's some gay website where it's only blowjobs and there's a map and everybody on the thing is either a blower or a blowy.
Oh my God.
And then they rate and it's like Yelp for blowjobs, but
You're lying.
But you can't leave a negative review.
I'm joining.
Well, I know
How do you know about this?
Because I interviewed this very gay comic in LA and he just got off of blowy.
Okay, you know what?
If you go on blow, you got to let us know how it goes.
I'll leave a review.
Yeah, leave it. No, let us know. We need to know.
I'll come back and let you know how it goes on blowy.
So you don't want to say the name of the app? Was it Grindr?
No, it was Adam for Adam. So I had this profile. Adam for Adam is just it's a skanky, nasty, deceitful website.
How is it?
It's deceitful because, honey, I was on there deceiving people. Okay. Yes. Listen.
You're like, I'm 6'5" and white.
Or I'm a masculine dom top looking for.
Right. So what kind of? How did you deceive the Adams on Adams for Adams?
Honey, I was an Eve. That's how I just. No, low key. I went on Adam for Adam. So I went on Adam for Adam looking for sex, right? At first, that's what a person goes on there looking for, right? And one day, I'm 19. This is before crystal meth. One day, a man reaches out to me and he's like, "Hey, do you drop deuce?" And I said, "What?" And he said, "Yeah, do you take shits?" And I said, "Yeah, I absolutely do."
Everybody does.
Everybody does. And he's like, "Well, I like to pay hot young men to deuce on me."
Oh my God.
So the minute that I heard that, I said, "Well, how much do you like to pay them?" Because, honey, I deuce for free all the time.
I'm constantly deucing for free.
Right. You know what I mean? I'm just throwing money down the toilet at this point. So he's like, "Oh, I normally pay young guys like yourself $700
for a deuce?"
For one shit. So
I'm in the wrong business.
Honey, listen, I have never found another. Listen, if you're out there and you like to get deuced on, I will deuce on you for money. I'll deuce on somebody today for $275.29.
That's the lowest deuce price.
Listen, and that's just a fart.
So
anyway.
what happened?
So let me tell you. Okay, so I'm 19. This is before I was addicted to meth. This is just because I like to get into reckless shit at this point. I'm free. I'm smoking weed, right? The man hits me up. He's like, "Oh, let's schedule a time for you to come and drop deuce." I'm like, "Okay, sure." So the day comes.
I think it's also weird that it's for you to drop deuce. Like, it's not "come shit on me" or.
No. I'm saying the polite way.
Okay, but what does he say?
No, he said "come shit on me."
Okay.
Oh yeah, no. These
crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's amazing.
Let me tell you something, honey. And he told me the price that he pays. And I rolled out a menu. I said, "Well, listen, I drop deuce in the morning, in the afternoon. Then I have my mid-afternoon deuce. I have my evening."
So he would pay $700
for a shit. Right. So boom.
A session.
Yes. So get into this. So now I'm on the train. It's the day of the session.
Number one.
Wait.
Tell us about the first day on the job. Like, what the fuck happened?
Let me tell you. I'm about to tell you right now.
So this is day one.
This is not day one. I'm telling you, on my way to go shit on this man.
This is day one of dropping deuces.
Yes,
for
day one.
Listen,
it was only a one-time thing. It was a day one and done.
I'm disappointed already.
Listen, don't be disappointed. You're gonna get ready. Okay, so I'm on my way. Remember, I live in FIT.
Yes.
Right. So I hop on the train.
First of all, I just want to thank you ahead of the story. I want to thank you for coming and telling this story.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Is no.
This is the kind of, for some reason, I really like. These are my favorite kinds of things.
Well, get ready because, honey, this story is so. I'm on the train. And, I'm nervous. I'm 19.
I'd be scared to death.
Yeah, I'm like, is this man gonna
And
chop
what
me
happens?
up?
And then what happens to the shit? It's like...
right, what does he do? Does he collect it? Does
and
he
when
sell
do you
it?
have to touch it?
Right, no.
You don't want to touch it.
Absolutely. Shit.
It's like, when it's out of me,
okay,
it's out of
right.
me.
It's exactly. You're paying for the excrement.
Oh,
so
boy.
I'm on the train. So I'm taking the train to the Bronx. This is a
in
man
the Bronx,
in the
hey,
oh
boy.
You know it was from the Bronx.
I was thinking it's the West Village. Some swanky deuce
please.
player.
No. This is some homo in the Bronx.
Whoa.
Okay. So I'm on the train. I'm on the train in the Bronx, and the train goes above ground, and the man across from me, he's looking at his phone, and he goes, "Michael Jackson just died." And so the king of pop died
on this day.
That's how I know it was meant. So I get off the train and I'm walking to this man. I buzz the bell. I'm like, hey, I'm here.
Did you smoke weed that day?
No,
Okay.
I was too nervous. Oh yeah. No. Right. So he opens the door. It's this 5'4" Hispanic man, a little round, a little, rotund. Everything in his apartment is covered in plastic. Like grandmas cover their plastic chairs and their tables, And
my grandma had it like that.
Right. Mine too.
But I don't think she was into this.
No. You never know. Listen, that might have. So I see everything is covered and I'm like, this is the shit palace. Okay. He's not going to chop me up. So he lays on his dining room table.
Oh my God.
Butt naked.
Yes.
Right.
And you've never done any sex work or anything?
No, this was my first sex work job. I mean, it was, honey, it paid well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it paid well for what it was, right? And I was excited.
And have you just gone to anyone's house to hook up?
Oh, yeah. No.
Strangers?
Yes.
And stuff? Okay.
From like 15, I had been used to going to strangers' houses and
hooking up. And
right, yeah, right. So this was nothing unusual.
Like it was dating app culture, but this is the pay.
Oh yeah, this is what I've been waiting for.
Had you been paid? Had you been,
No, I never was a sex worker. No.
I just want to make sure I'm setting the scene.
But this door opened up that door for me. It was like, there are opportunities.
Sure.
Right. So I get to this man's house. Everything is covered in plastic. He lays on his dining room table, butt naked. And I take off my pants and he's like, I want it on my chest. So I said, all right, I got you. Because, I have to pretend to be into it. I'm like, oh, yeah, I got you. Da-da-da-da. You're going to get this shit. I've been waiting all day to shit on you. So I squat over him. And Dave, it takes me about 47 minutes and 23 seconds to just plop 2 nervous little pellets. Bloop.
Hold up. How do you prepare? Like, what are you thinking? Like, how do you think you're going to be able to shit on command?
I don't.
Did you drink a lot of coffee?
Honestly, I was unprepared thoroughly.
Did he have any like enema device?
No, I was dehydrated as well. So, the shit was really just scraping.
Yeah.
Scraping.
You're pushing.
Yes.
Are you making conversation?
No, I'm making direct eye contact. He's making direct eye contact with me, making me nervous. I'm like, can you look away while I try to drop this deuce on you? So I'm making direct eye contact with him. The king of pop has just died. My brain is all over the place because I love Michael Jackson. And here I am taking a shit. I was like, oh my God, obviously this is the universe. This is the universe. Michael Jackson passed and he's obviously given everybody money from his in some sort of spiritual way, and this is my payout from the Jackson family.
This is your reparations.
Exactly. Yes. Right. So it takes me about 47 minutes and 22 seconds to plop out 2 nervous ass balls of shit. I'm talking about 2 owl pellets. Dry.
Yeah. Easily handleable.
Yes, exactly. Nothing too messy. Nothing too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously strained. Obviously full of nerve.
Constipated with fear,
honey, with fear, baby. Okay, so I hear them drop. They're so rock hard that I hear them like, on his chest, and then I'm like, oh well, that's it. That's all I got. You know what I mean,
Show's
honey?
Over.
Yeah. Listen, you asked for shit, and that's what I did. And he gets up. I put on my pants. He gives me the money. Right. When I first entered, he gave me half. So I was like, this is good. I'm going to really shit on this guy. Right. And then he gave me the second half. And then he said, you know what? I'm sorry, but this is not going to work out because I just thought it was going to be a lot looser. I thought that was, I wasn't really impressed, but here. And I was like, oh.
He gave you the rest of the money.
Yes,
though.
he did give me the rest of the money, but.
I'm sure he thought about not giving you or giving you less.
Let me tell you something.
Because it was a drier poop than he wanted.
But you know what? He didn't specify.
Listen, he came through. He just said it's not going to work for him.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's honorable.
That is honorable. And even till this day, I think of that man. I think of him like, wow.
He was a just and honorable person.
Yes, and all he wanted was my 19-year-old turd, and
you
that's
gave
all
it to
he
him,
asked.
And he was not impressed.
No, he was not pleased or impressed.
He was not impressed.
But he paid out, but you know what? It opened the door for me to think of finding other opportunities, honey. After that, I started collecting farts in a bag, trying to sell them to people.
Oh, stop!
I'm just joking. But you know what? It's always interested me, like how people. Like the things that people will buy on the internet. Like people will buy used socks. Those girls are lucky that wear those. They get the 50 thongs from Amazon for $15, honey. They wear it once, piss in it, put it in a bag and ship it off, okay, for $250 or something like that. And
I don't know how that economy works. So where are you thinking you're going to start striking it rich in this economy at that point?
So at this point, now I know that opportunity is out there, right? Not the shit opportunity, but the sex work opportunity. I had never been introduced to sex work. Another man reached out to me, and this was somebody that I built a small, weird relationship with for a few months, where I would go and give him nude massages, and he would pay me $90 for a half an hour. To my 19-year-old brain, that was $180 for an hour. And then he would ask me like, oh, if you have sex with me, I will give you another $100. And I'm 19. I'm not thinking of the dangers of the world.
Sure.
So I do it, and I get my little extra $100, and I do that every
Were
week.
you repulsed by this guy?
I was.
And
yes.
still, that's what makes it hard.
Yeah. He was grotesque. He put the obesity in obesity, and honestly, it was
horrible.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was the first sex work job that I put myself in that I was uncomfortable always with this man, like sitting next to this, massaging him.
As opposed to the shitting gig, which is like you're
great.
Just like, I can get away with
honey,
this.
I would do that today.
Get the money, get out of there. But then you're developing this weird intimate relationship where you're not getting enough money.
No.
And you're fucking him for an extra $100.
Exactly.
And you feel this kind of shame.
Yeah, I feel this sort of shame, and I feel resentful, what I mean, against him. But so that lasted, I would say, like 3 months. Every other week I would go and I would get my money, right? But these are all different things that I was doing to eat, to pay for things, to go play, you know what I mean?
Starbucks was still in effect.
Starbucks, yeah, but Starbucks was still in effect. I was only working nights at Starbucks, but a little extra money here and there.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
And an adventure of sorts.
Exactly.
And like somebody wanting you.
Right. Yeah.
You. It's like a whole thing.
And being fetishized.
Yeah.
And you know, that whole idea that I can make money from my body, or I can use my body to make money. So after I'm 19 now I'm like 20, I move out of FIT, and I'm looking for a place to live, right? I'm in dorm looking for a place to live, and I find this place on Craigslist named Surreal Estate. Surreal Estate was this artistic commune, like an artistic community. Is that what you call it? Like
something like that. I get it. I get like a squat kind of thing.
Yes, it was that. That's exactly what it was. I moved into this.
Where was it at?
It was East Williamsburg. You know how they call it East Williamsburg?
Yeah,
it's Bushwick.
like a little like an art scene.
Actually, it was. I'll tell you exactly where it was. It was 13 and 15 Thames Street in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Right? That used to be called Surreal Estate. And basically, it was about 50 different artists from all over the place squatting in this abandoned
warehouse.
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Right. You know that time. That is 2010, 2011 in Bushwick, that sort of anarchist sort of
It was the last gasp of hope before Bushwick fell.
That's a fact. Exactly. I was there, honey. You had to have been there, honey. Okay.
I was there pre all that. I was there between where Bushwick was kind of scary and full of heroin, and when it became kind of arty. And
really?
Right before it became kind of gentrified.
I didn't know Bushwick was scary and heroin-y.
I grew up here. Like, I would go to Bushwick in the early 2000s to like the Morgan train stop.
Oh, that's exactly where Morgan L.
And where the pizza place was on the corner of Morgan, and some Dominican town car would come pick me up, and you cop from the Dominican town car, and they drive you around, and then they leave you someplace in Bushwick. It wasn't particularly scary, but growing up back then, I mean, I'm probably 30 years older than you or something.
How old are you?
I'm 52.
You're not that old. I'm 36.
All right. So I'm considerably
14 years older.
But I think 16.
16.
But when I was a kid, Bushwick had a reputation of being not the safest place to go.
Well, I think Brooklyn.
Yeah, then it was different. It wasn't so bougie. It wasn't so cool or hipstery,
honey.
But Bushwick was, it wasn't like East New York or Brownsville, but it fell later than Williamsburg or Greenpoint or something.
You know what? I'm happy that I made my way in 2010 and I made my way out in 2011.
So what was the art place and what were you doing there?
All right. So basically Surreal Estate was this artistic collective is the right word. Okay. Collective. And the rent was $350. We would squat. If you had food stamps, you'd have to give up half your food stamps.
A cooperative.
Yeah. Is that, I guess
they call them a lot of different
it was a hole in the world. It was a hole in the wall sort of
scene.
Exactly. Where you would climb up a ladder and somebody's room would be.
That's cool though.
It was great. It was honestly it was my introduction to real drug addicts.
Okay.
Like heroin addicts. You know what I mean? People that were smoking meth, people that were, shooting up. That's when I was exposed to that. But I still didn't try any of that. I was always just a weed smoker, even then.
A daily one at that point or no?
I would say so, yes. Daily, definitely at that point. There was a dealer right downstairs. There was a dealer that lived with us. You know what I mean? So it was just easy to cop. And that's when marijuana wasn't legalized in New York State. And honey, that's when a dime was actually $10.
How much is a dime now?
I don't know. I don't know how much dimes are now. But what I will say is that, honey, I remember I used to pay $60 for, thank God. You know what I mean? Thank God that life is over. But I just remember living in this place where adventure and like fairy tale, everybody was so unique. There was this girl named Anna. She was a fire dancer and a fire breather, a belly dancer. There was singers, guitar players, people that were you just get up and see people painting.
Just super bohemian shit.
Extremely. What's bohemian mean?
Like real artistic.
Okay.
Like the fringe of society.
Yeah.
Like
barefoot.
Let's get a definition. Hold on. Bohemian. A person who lives in an unconventional, free-spirited lifestyle, often with permanent ties and a strong focus on artistic, literary, or musical pursuits.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah,
it was a space that was. Now I know what bohemian means. Now I'm going to use it every other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much that. And
it's like art school. It's like bohemian shit.
Okay. But this was more grunge, dirty.
Right, this is where all the art students wind up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like broke, living together, getting high, fucking.
Exactly. And I remember this one girl, her name was Lucy, and she was always barefoot and her feet were black.
Yeah.
That was that sort of experience.
Yeah, filthy hippie.
Yes, filthy hippie pussy, okay?
Yeah.
Like, but it exposed me to freedom. It exposed me to that sort of freedom of expression, and when I wanted to, and actually while I was living there, I had about $500 and I thought it would be a great idea. One of my friends that lived there was like, oh, I have these friends in London that have this place available if you want to go and stay out there. So I bought me a little ticket to London.
Nice.
Had $500. Didn't tell anybody else. Didn't tell my mom. Didn't tell anybody. Flew out to London. was staying in an abandoned frat house with a punk rock band, squatting, right? Now, London is completely different. Culture shock, like immediately. I don't know where the fuck I am. You know what I mean? I'm 20-ish at this point, and I lived in Elephants and Castle, and I immediately got sick. I remember I flew there and I immediately got sick, and then like 2 weeks later, I called my mom, and she's like, Dean, what number you calling me from? And I'm like, you're not gonna believe this, but I'm in London. And, you know, my mom didn't tell my dad. She had to get the money to get me a ticket to fly me back. And she picked me up from the airport. She did not bring me home. She drove me right back to Surreal Estate. She said, get your ass out and go right back to them hippies.
No roti and doubles.
No roti. No roti doubles. Sauce, no plantain, no nothing. No oxtail, nothing. I had to go right back to the filthy hippie pussy out, you know, and
what kind of sick did you get out there?
I got the English flu.
Okay.
I don't know. I like to call it that. I just got like a flu.
You were shitty and you were like, fuck it, I don't want to be here. Mom, help me.
Yeah,
she
right.
fucking took care of you.
Please
nice.
save me. And you know, I'm sure it was a shock for her to hear like, oh my God, how the fuck did you get to London?
It's going to get much worse for her though, I'm sure, in this story.
And the story is this is like
these stories never get better. I mean, at the end they get better. But
at the end, at this point, you know. Yeah. But so my mom drives me back to Surreal Estate. And at this point, they've given my room up. You know what I mean? This is a
little spot.
Yeah, it's a quickly rotating thing. Right. So they've given my room up. So now I'm squatting in Surreal Estate, right? In this artistic community, I'm squatting, right? And I call one of my good friends, Chanel. I used to live in Surreal Estate with Chanel, and she moved to Harlem. So I said, hey, Chanel, do you happen to have like an extra couch or, you know, a place that I can like, you know, crash for like a week or two? And she said, sure, come. So now I'm living in Harlem, Central Harlem, on 143rd and Convent, with Chanel and Mary, right? Mary is a lesbian. I didn't mean to say it like that. Not Mary's a lesbian. Mary's
she's a lesbian. Yeah, she's a lesbian.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
Chanel?
Yeah. Chanel is a heterosexual, female, black female.
All right, great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And then they didn't have an extra room, but what they did do was there was a long hallway, and they cut off one half of the hallway with like a curtain and the other half with a curtain, and my room was basically the hallway. They put a mattress in there.
Did they walk through?
No.
Okay.
No.
So you had your spot.
Yeah, I had my little nook, right. And at nighttime, when Chanel and Mary would go to sleep, I would go on the same website, Adam for Adam, and this is not a
plug for Adam.
No,
for Adam.
it is not.
Okay.
And I would invite guys over and hook up with them. You know what I mean? While they were asleep, I would be in the living room, you know, sucking dick or being a hot ass mess, right? So then one day, remember I'm on 143rd and Convent. One day I'm on this Adam for Adam, and this guy is like, "Hey, do you party?" So I'm thinking, I'm naive.
I do. Yes, I party.
Of course I do. Yeah, you know, I'm young. I party. Right. So he lives on 154th and Edgecombe.
Okay.
He lives on 154th and Edgecombe. So I'm like, okay, this is not too far. I'm gonna walk on over there. It's December, and I'm gonna go and have sex. I'm not thinking I'm gonna walk into something dangerous, but this was the night that changed my entire life. So I walk into this man's house, and they're smoking something out of what I thought looked like, to me, from what I had seen, looked like a hookah. I had never seen a meth bong.
I've never seen a meth bong.
Right. You know? So I had not seen a meth bong. I had never seen it. And there were two other guys there. Right? I thought there was going to only be one guy, but there were two other guys. At that point, I probably should have gotten up and left.
This was the triple you were dreading before.
Honey, that's why I don't do triples, honey. Okay?
Right.
So I should have gotten up and left, but my naivety, my horniness, I'm horny. I'm like young.
You want to see what's happening.
Right,
Whatever.
exactly. So I'm like, oh, what is this that you're smoking? And I'm like, oh, is it like hookah? Because here I am trying to compare it to something that I know. And he's like, oh, it's Tina.
Yeah.
It's like hookah, but it is.
But it's actually meth.
He didn't say that.
It's like hookah.
It's like, he said it's like hookah, but it's a little stronger.
Okay.
So I said, okay.
How old is he?
Has to be in his 50s.
Right.
50s.
So he's straight predatorial.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And here I am, just this young.
Telling you meth is like hookah.
And you know what? I think back on this time, like I think back on this time of how I must have looked, because I looked very young. I must have looked like a child,
Right.
honestly.
Of course. You were a child.
Yes, I was 21.
Yeah. Are you kidding?
You know, no, I was 22. I was a child.
Still though, it's a young,
small frame, you know, just not
and innocent for the even no matter how much hooking up you might have done. You weren't worldly. You're 22 years old.
No, not at all. I had never meth. It was like one of those 3 drugs that you were warned about as a kid. Don't smoke crack, don't do meth, and don't shoot heroin.
Yeah, those are the things.
The unforgivables.
Those are
you know what I mean?
Unforgivables. Yeah.
Right. So if in that moment that man had said, "This is meth," I would have left. I feel like I would have left. I don't think I would have stayed around. But he said it's Tina. It's a little bit like hookah. I was like, "Oh, this can't be that bad." So I remember I got naked, and I remember I took a large hit of this hookah, meth, and I immediately got hot. My body got hot. My breathing got shallow, and I passed out. The next thing that I remember is the only thing that I can remember from that night is that I was being fucked. Right? I was being fucked while fucking somebody and sucking their dick.
How many people there?
That's why I don't do triples. Okay.
But it sounds like there was an extra person too.
There was apparently when I was out of my mind. Like, so I ingested this and it was too much for my body. It was too much for me. Right? And I am now incoherent.
In the middle of straight meth orgy.
But not aware.
So basically being raped.
I am being raped. And
I'm sorry.
No, I mean it happened.
It starts as a joke coming out of my mouth.
No.
I'm sorry.
No. It's okay. I've had to listen,
you know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're saying. I know what you're saying. You don't have to apologize.
There has to be some level of sensitivity around anything like rape.
Right.
Because I know it happened to you, and I know it's happened to people that are listening.
Right.
And I think it's required for someone to listen to it and know that there's some level of sensitivity to it. Like we can laugh about a lot of things.
Yes.
But you're fucking incoherent 22.
Yeah.
Fucking being fucked. The whole thing.
Yeah. And I can remember somebody pushing my head down.
Right.
Like forcing me.
Horrible.
You know, so and that's the only scene that I can like visualize in my head, because the next thing I know, I'm in the hallway in the staircase. I'm waking up in the staircase. How did I get there? The first thing I feel is the cold, the air, because I'm in some underwear. I don't have any clothes on. The next thing I see is that there's a needle sticking out of my arm.
Oh my God. They shot you up with what?
So when I was being raped and I was incoherent, what I believe, I don't know. I still don't know I don't know till this day if they shot me up. I don't know. What I think happened was I passed out. I was being raped. And in efforts to wake me up or to get me coherent again, they kind of beat me up because I had bruises all over me.
I wonder though because it's rare you hear somebody going down from taking meth. I wonder if they gave you fentanyl or something.
You know what?
And you nodded out from. What do you think happened?
I feel like in my memory, what I can remember is I took some hits of this meth. I might have taken some GHB.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it was many years ago, but I know that when they said it was hookah, when the guy said it was hookah, I was like, oh, okay, this is not dangerous. So I might have taken a shot of G or something like that and not known it. But at some point I was unconscious and I woke up in a staircase with none of my clothes on, with no sneakers. They stole my wallet. I walked in there with a backpack. I had a cute jacket on. I had an outfit on, you know what I mean? And I was in the staircase, basically naked, bleeding from my ass. I had a needle. So what I think happened is when they were raping me and they were trying to wake me up, I was probably fighting back.
Right.
Right. And when I wouldn't wake up, or when maybe they hit me, I don't know. They put me in the hallway because there were needles around me. They put me in the hallway and staged it like I was a junkie having an overdose in this hallway. In this, not in the hall, in like the staircase. Put me in the staircase and like.
That's a crazy story.
And
it's hard to know what the hell really happened.
I don't know what. All I know is that when I woke up, I saw the needle in my arm. I was even scared to touch it because I flicked it out of my hand, and then I start to feel on myself just to see if I'm hurt or if I'm stabbed or if, and I touch my butt and I'm bleeding out of my anus. I have on no shoes. I don't have my phone. I do not remember. I'm high as a kite on something, at this point, I still don't know it is crystal meth, right? I know that I was in this person's apartment and now I'm running and now I am on. So I leave, I get outside. It's snowing at this point. If things could get worse, right? It's snowing. I'm barefoot.
You don't have clothes.
No, it's freezing. And I'm bruised. I have pain, in different areas of my body. My rib cage feels pained. And I know that I'm on Edgecombe, and if I walk up to Convent, Edgecombe is not that safe, but if I walk up to Convent and then walk down Convent, I'll be safer. So I'm running. I'm running, and I am
to get home.
Yes, and I'm afraid. I'm scared. I didn't want anybody to see me. I didn't know this at this point. I didn't know what I experienced to have shame yet.
Well, and not to mention, you grew up in New York City.
Yeah.
And to be in your underwear in the middle of a fucking snowstorm in the middle of the night, that's not a place you want to be.
No, and then on top of that, I'm high.
Exactly.
On
something you don't even know what it was.
And I know this is not weed.
No,
you know what I mean?
It's the only thing you know.
Okay.
That's the only thing that you know.
So, I'm running, and I remember these two gay men, this older couple, they were walking. They were having the morning walk or something like that. And they see me and they say, "Are you okay?" And they because they see that I'm
not okay.
I'm not okay. I'm clearly distraught. I'm clearly, something happened to me. And I just rushed past them because I didn't know to accept help. I didn't know that I did not know what to do. So all I knew was to get home, right? Let me get home. The front door of my building was always usually ajar. So I would open it, and then we always kept a key under the mat. And it's 4:45. So I sneak in quietly into this apartment that my two friends are allowing me to sleep in the hallway in. You know what I mean? I don't want to come in. I am still walking on eggshells.
Sure.
This is not my home, right? So I go into the bathroom, and I can just remember taking off the underwear that I had on and getting in the shower, and all of the stings from the hot water. That's
bruises and wounds and whatever.
And just stings, little stings all over my body. And I just broke down. And cried.
Did you ever write about that?
I shared about this on I haven't written about it, but I have definitely.
Because it sounds very like you've dealt with a lot of the details of the story.
You know what it is? I've had a long time and many therapists, a decade of therapy
to process it.
No, to process this.
It's
and yeah.
Nuts. So, but that's not the end of your story.
No, honey. Right. So I'm in the shower crying. I'm distraught. I don't want to tell my roommates. Right. I don't call the police. I don't make a police report. I don't go back for my things. I'm not going back there at all. I'm not telling my roommates. I'm not telling anybody. But see, this is the point where I didn't know. The next couple days, I was like, wow, I'm looking really skinny. I'm looking really snatched. Look at how skinny. I thought it was, I was watching America's Next Top Model. I thought to be extremely skinny was desirable.
You're like, I went through something.
Yeah.
And I look more like the way.
Yeah.
people, because people who are in Next Top Model and models are like, they do drugs. They're super skinny.
I didn't know.
There's also a look to them
that heroin chic,
that they've been through something bad, you know, and you see yourself, and you're a kid. I mean, I was similar when I was using. I would see I was like, there's something I liked about. And you and I come from totally different places. I think I wanted to burn off some innocence. I wanted to burn off some privilege. I wanted to burn off some innocence. And I was like, I like being on the other side of this thing. You know, I like having been through something.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's what you're talking about in that situation where you're like, you see yourself.
Oh, no. You know what? I think what I was describing is just it's just that immature vanity, like, oh, I look skinny now, not like, oh, I look into my eyes and I've been through some shit. More like me not even realizing that a side effect of what I just went through was weight loss.
You're like, okay, all I have to do is go through massive violent trauma,
you know. So I don't have sex for about, I would have to say, like half of a year, maybe
6 months.
Yeah, 6 months.
Because this is a serious trauma.
Yes, this is, you know, I still had to give myself time to heal. I don't know what I went through, and then you know, so I still have that profile, right? I still had those messages. I could have gone and done something. I could have called the police. I could have gone back there, but something in me was like, do not ever go back there ever again. So it's almost like I just let it go, you know? And I regret that, but now I'm here alive to tell you about it. So,
I mean, I don't think there was anything for you to go back to.
No.
I mean, calling the police is one thing.
Yeah.
But I think that would have been very scary to do that too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done that. I would have done exactly the same thing, or I would have done exactly the same thing and tried to forget the place ever existed and try to forget that I ever called this person or went to this place. Yeah, but I'm sure you knew where that place was.
I knew where it was, but I knew that it was almost like a bitch. If you go back there, you might die. You're gonna get raped or something. You know what I mean? You cannot. You got raped. Don't go back there.
Well, also, it's like, you're 21, let's 22, say, 22.
Mm-hmm.
You've basically made it your whole life without abusing drugs.
Right.
You show up at this spot.
Right.
You don't even know what you do.
No.
You get raped. You're traumatized, beaten. Wake up with a fucking needle in your arm in your underwear in the snow. You go home, and you're like,
in the staircase.
Well, these are moments, in the staircase, but you wind up in the snow.
I wind up in the snow.
But these are the moments for drug addicts, I think, where you're like, that could be enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be like, that could be
it. That could be the end.
Yeah, I don't need to do this.
I don't need to try that again. Right. But you know, for me, it was a scary situation that I never thought I would encounter ever again. I don't know why.
So what happens? Like you go 6 months of celibacy.
So 6 months. So I would say,
you're smoking weed. Are you living with these women?
Girls? Yeah, I'm living with the girls. We smoke weed. Chanel taught me how to roll a joint.
Did you tell anyone what happened to you? I
told literally nobody.
Right. So you were trying to forget it. Whatever.
I honestly, not only was I trying to forget it, I was trying to eliminate this entire experience.
Happened.
Exactly. You know, like, this is something that I did without, like, I did this while my roommates were sleeping. You know what I mean? Is my mic too high?
No.
Okay. I did this while my roommates were sleeping, and I'm basically homeless. So I don't want to tell.
No, you don't want to be this dangerous, crazy person.
Exactly.
That's basically imposing on these women.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got you.
Exactly. So I don't have sex. I'm celibate for about 6 to 8 months. And then I decide that I'm going to go and hook up with somebody, right? Now, this was when they invited me, they said that they were there by themselves. They were there by themselves. It was a nicely well-lit room, you know, and they were smoking something out of a little pipe with a ball at the end.
And you're like, oh boy.
No.
Okay.
I'm like, they were smoking it, I was not, but I was like, oh, this person didn't seem like a drug addict, vagrant, you know what I mean? Like, scary person. I was hooking up with him. We were having fun. He's like, oh, do you want to try this? And at that point he said, oh no, this is meth. Right. And I'm like, okay, I tried it once. I tried it. And that's when that substance, I was coherent. I tried it. That's when the euphoria, everything that you hear about crystal meth, instantly. And I was hooked from that session. From that session on, I only wanted to engage in sex with people that were smoking meth. Only.
Well, it's funny because I've been doing the show for, a long time. I did a bunch of meth in California. In California, meth is like a much different scene. In California, like meth is like just straight drug addict scene. Like it's almost like coke out here or something, or like crack.
Yeah, crack.
Out here, though, meth is very specifically gay.
Yeah.
I have one of my, a very regular guy on the show is gay, and he's always talking about partying with Tina. And he didn't do a lot of meth, but I've always been waiting to hear like what that world is like. And they call it Tina because they measure it out in tenths of grams. Is that why?
Wow. Well, maybe that's what, I don't know. Shit. I thought they called it Tina because Christina.
Right. It could be. Dopey Nation, why do they say Tina? I think it's because they sell it in tenths.
Really? Tenths?
Like tenths of a gram. Like people buy like a 16th of a gram. Let's see. Hold on. Let's find out.
People buy 16ths of a gram?
Why do they?
Girl, I'm just happy I'm not living that life no more.
Meth Tina. I'm curious. You're not curious why they call meth Tina?
I thought they called it because of Christina, like white girl, cocaine, white girl, Christina.
It's not a good answer. People call crystal meth Tina. The white girl called Christina. People call crystal meth Tina, or sometimes T, sometimes Christina, because it is a playful, coded slang term. This is not a good definition. Hold on. Here's a better one. Why is meth called Tina? If you've heard the term Tina in certain circles, you might wonder what it means in many LGBTQ plus spaces, particularly among gay, bisexual men and the trans community. Tina is a slang term for methamphetamine. This nickname is commonly used in conversations about party culture, ChemSex, and substance use within the community. But why is meth called Tina? Just answer the fucking question, man. What the fuck?
Do I need to pull out ChatGPT?
Yeah. What does ChatGPT say?
Nova. Okay.
This is not a satisfying answer for me.
Let me see something. Hold on. My ChatGPT is like a good friend of mine.
Yeah, Christina, it says. Because of Crystal. You got it. No, etymology.
I knew it.
It is a play on the full name Christina, cleverly adapting the first letters of Crystal. So you try it with this guy that you like.
Yes.
You hook up with him. You enjoy it. You enjoy the meth. And all of a sudden, you're like, all I want to do is hook up and do meth.
Yes. All I want to do is hook up, do meth, have sex with strangers. And if they don't have this substance, then I'm not. Because what it turned sex into like this, like marathon, this urgent marathon sex, right? Like could have sex for all night. And then, but yeah, I wasn't experiencing any of the negative consequences at this point. I was experiencing only positive, I wouldn't say only positive, but a lot of why people
do it.
Exactly. And so I would only hook up with, I would seek out guys on this website. Right now I knew what party meant, right? So when a person asked me if I partied, now I know.
Oh, that's, yes, definitely.
I do. Yes, I want to go. Right. And it did not matter who.
Every person on the app, did they provide the meth?
Well, yes. At this point in my early using, yeah.
In the beginning, somehow it's always around. You don't have to pay for it.
Right. And then I didn't think that I was an addict because I'm not paying for it. I'm not buying it. I'm just enjoying it, right? I'm just going over to somebody's house and enjoying. So I would only seek out strangers that were smoking crystal meth. And if the person did not have meth, then I was not there. I was not going to stay. This led me into many different strangers' homes all over New York City. You know what I mean? I've smoked meth with people that live in squalor. to people that live in really nice high rises, you know. And
can you think of any really strange stories or funny stories from that time?
Yes. Well, so at that time I lived in my studio apartment.
How'd you get out of the girls' place? What were you doing for work at that point?
Okay, so I was at that point at 22. Let's see, I had just I wasn't working at Starbucks. I was unemployed. I was relying on unemployment or something. Remember, I'm 22. I'm 36 now. So this is 14 years ago. I'm making it work. I got EBT. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, from surreal estate, I learned how to dumpster dive. Okay. And I go.
And you're living cheap as fuck.
Exactly. You know, and I'm rolling little
joints, smoking a little tina here and there.
Exactly. Not thinking that I'm building an addiction, not thinking that I'm compounding this addiction. So once I left Harlem, I would run this sort of scam on subletters, right? I would go online, right? And I would find somebody that was subletting their apartment or subletting a room for 3 months. I would pay the first month. I'd be like, oh, I have the first month. And then since I knew that after 30 days, you cannot illegally evict somebody, I would pay the first month and then I would squat.
Wow.
I would squat indignantly.
You're everybody's worst nightmare.
Oh yeah, I was. Yes, I would squat indignantly, indefinitely
gay, black, and squatting.
Honey, that's a okay. That's a good Indian, like Native American, gay, black, squatting.
Yes,
okay,
that's very good.
So yeah, that was that's the scam I would run. I would run it all the time. I would and then after the term was up, I would always get kicked out angrily, right?
I would imagine.
Yeah, you know, I would always get kicked out angrily. But at this point, I'm like working at Forever 21.
Okay.
You know, Paragon Sports.
Sure.
Yeah, I worked at Paragon Sports.
I love Paragon.
Yeah, selling Jack North Faces.
That's an institution.
Yes, it is. Okay, they have it. They it's like B&H.
Yeah. You worked at B&H?
I didn't work at B&H, but it's like the same sort of like family run.
Yeah, heavy Jewish.
Heavy
Jewish New York City retail institutions.
Exactly. So I'm doing that. I'm squatting at places. I'm paying 1 month's rent. I'm squatting. I'm smoking meth here and there. I'm not a full blown meth smoker yet, right? Then after I do all that squatting, I move to Brooklyn and I find this studio where this man is charging me $900. His name is Mr. John. He's my neighbor. He's also, come to find out, this heavy alcoholic.
Okay.
Right. So I pay him my $900 for the month, and I'd bring it to him, and he'd be drunk. He'd be saying, "I thought I charged you $1,100. I thought there was money missing." And I went through that for a few years, and then Mr. John died from his alcoholism. And then I had a Jewish landlord. And for some reason, I don't know, when Mr. John died, it was like, oh, I got this. I can invite whoever the fuck I want over here now. Like my landlord is not going to be nosy, so right. I can just
do whatever you want.
Do whatever I want. So that's when I started to instead of going to people's houses to use their drugs, I started to seek my own.
Bring it home.
Bring it home and smoke it. And that time in my life, it wasn't really like a funny time. It was more of a terrifying time because I lived by myself. I'm 24. I'm smoking meth in my bathroom. I'm avoiding people at all costs. I'm avoiding my friends. I'm getting fired. Got fired from Paragon. Got fired from Forever. I'm getting fired left and right. But somehow I'm like 120 pounds. I'm a stick. And I remember one night I was hallucinating, and I was staring out of my back window of my studio. And in the distance, I could see this gate opening where these cars would drive into this like little parking lot. And I don't know, I was hallucinating, and I saw a staircase going down, right? And then I see this man, not real, none of this is real. I see this man, this beautiful, this handsome white man, and he had a suit jacket on with buttons, And it scared the shit out of me because here I am growing in this household where it's like, God loves you. And here I am seeing something that I think, oh my God.
Stairway to Hell.
Yes. Right. So,
the white devil in this fucking
right.
suit
And you know
jacket.
he was white. Okay. You know he was Caucasian.
He's not going to be anything else.
No, he's not. Okay. You know he was Caucasian. So, that's like, this is now I'm an addict. Like now I'm in my addiction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm smoking meth by myself. I'm hallucinating.
Is that phrase in your mind yet?
Addict?
I might be a drug addict here.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet, but I'm in it, right? So I'm inviting guys over to my house. I'm a desperate, horny meth addict, right? Inviting guys over, letting them abuse me and my drug.
Were you thinking, and looking back, was this sex addiction and meth addiction?
Yes.
Okay.
Once I realized that meth turned sex into this desperate act, that's what I think of it now, right? I was all in.
Right. Co-addicted or something.
Is that what they call it?
I think poly-addicted. So you're addicted to the sex.
Yes.
To the meth and to like everything else that goes with
behavior.
it.
Yeah, the whole lifestyle. You know what I mean? The seeking, the finding, the getting, the smoking, the regretting. You know what after.
Yeah.
Right. So I remember one night, what I would do, I would get high, right? And then I would quickly regret it, and then I would smash the pipe. Right? In my day, I've smashed about 7,000 pipes.
I feel like that's the beginning of knowing you have a fucking problem.
Yes.
When you're smashing the pipe, you're like, I can't do this again.
Right. So I remember this was really scary. I still have a scar from this. And I had the pipe on the ground in my bathroom, and I had my hand underneath it, and then I took a hammer and I smashed the bowl part of it, but the glass pipe cut, and it cut so deep into my finger I could see like tendons and things like that.
That's horrible.
You know, so that was like the beginning of me harming myself through using this substance. You know, I was never an intravenous user. I was always a person that smoked meth or boofed it. Boofing it means when you put it up your butt. But
you don't come on. You don't think in 10 years of making a show we've heard the phrase boofing before?
Oh no, I know.
So like when you boof meth, was it with water? Was it turkey basting? What was the method?
You know, in the beginning, I was using water. I had a little bit more patience and a little less desperation to get the substance in me. So I would, do the water thing. At some point down the line, I was just sticking whole chunks of meth up my ass, right? But we're not there yet, so.
Boofing versus smoking.
Smoking.
Okay. So why were you boofing at all?
Because there's this thing called a booty bump.
Yes.
Right. And it's where the person basically boofs you, or like they stick a little pipette up your butt.
Oh, hold on. How does it work?
So they liquefied the meth.
Yeah.
Right. And they put it in some water, and then they shoot it up your ass with like a turkey baster.
Yes.
Right. And that
with a real turkey baster.
With a real turkey
Amazing.
baster. One straight from the turkey.
Yes. Thanksgiving time, you have to make sure that you're cleaning these basters.
Let me tell you something. I saved mine from Thanksgiving. Okay.
So hold up. So they're making the meth water solution,
yes.
putting it in the baster, shooting it up your butt, and then fucking.
Yep.
Okay.
And then fucking. Right.
So it's like almost the pre-sex ritual of turkey basting or something.
It's
boofing.
It's and on Thanksgiving, you know how we eat the turkey. Then I get basted and then eaten.
Okay.
Right.
Got you.
So, I'm harming myself all throughout this, though.
Do you think the boofing is mostly sexual?
The boofing is mostly euphoric. Like that's that.
It's exciting.
Yes,
it's this exciting different way.
It's just ooh, stick it up my butt.
Right, stick it up my butt.
Okay. So, and I think it gets you higher quicker. It does.
A lot of people prefer boofing. It's a whole thing.
And there's a whole
world.
Do you know there's a boof con?
I'm not surprised there is. Where is this?
It's at Jacob Javits. I'm just joking.
There's a Dopey con.
Is there?
Look, yeah, Dopey con, October 3rd this year. You should come.
I will be there
right now.
Cool.
All right.
So now I'm smoking. I had some sense, right? The sense that I had was to apply to the housing lottery. So even though I'm getting high, I'm losing jobs. I'm still like applying to this housing lottery. I'm getting called in for interviews, right? I'm not getting the apartments, right? Until the third Housing Connect interview I went and I interviewed. I had on a suit.
Okay.
You know, I knew I brought the documents. I had a job, and I got the apartment. And
where was that?
So it's the same apartment I live in now. I live in East Harlem.
Okay.
Right. And this was so I moved from basically a studio that's the size of this room to a 1-bedroom. First time in my life that I've had. Spacious. Any sort of space. I could do a cartwheel. You know, first time in my life. But it's also in a nice building, so my neighbors are doctors.
Right.
You know, I move into this fucking apartment with 8 garbage bags, a bicycle, and a fold-up chair.
Right. And a turkey baster.
Yeah, and a turkey. Don't forget the turkey baster, okay? I never forgot it. So I move into this apartment with basically nothing. For the first 6 months, I slept on a faux fur coat on my living room floor that was piled on top of some clothes. I'm having imposter syndrome at this point because I am a drug addict sleeping on clothes at night when I can clearly hear my neighbors having like dinner parties and enjoy. How was your day? And you know, like all this and now and I'm in here like smoking meth, you know, with no curtains.
It's miraculous you still have this place. I just want to say that.
Let me tell you something. It is absolutely a blessing, right? So smoking meth, no curtains, inviting randos over, right? And I know that I have to get into recovery, right?
Why?
So, okay. Before I moved into this apartment, I think I missed this part. When I was 25, I started to say to myself, oh, Dean, you're not doing any of the things that you love to do. You're isolating yourself. People are inviting you places. You're missing opportunities. What's going on? Are you depressed? You're telling everybody that you're depressed.
It's like your higher nature asking you that question.
You know,
wait a sec. This isn't what I signed up for in this body.
Okay.
It's like your spirit questioning your reality.
Yeah.
That's very interesting in itself.
Right. So it was very, very interesting. But it led me to find somebody to tell that I was struggling with this. And the person that I found was my neighbor. Her name is Keisha. Keisha was an ex-crack addict.
Okay.
Right.
Did you know?
Yes, I did know that
How
she
did
was
you
an
know?
ex. Because, you know, the look, you know, like there's like let me not say there's a look.
Maybe you overheard her talking about recovery or something.
You know what? But also, let me tell you something. There is a look. There's a look. There's a look. There's a look.
I went to the gym for the first time, like the other day, to do an assessment because I'm trying to get in shape in some kind of way. And the guy's asking me what I do, you know, and I was like, oh, I do this podcast. So it's like, oh, well, what's your podcast about? Oh, it's about drugs, addiction, and dumb shit. Oh, you know, tell me more kind of thing. 15 minutes later, he tells me he's 3 years sober. You know what I mean? It's like these are these kinds of things.
Right.
Somehow you heard that Keisha was sober.
Yes. Somehow we would smoke weed together. You know what? She told me.
Okay.
She told me that she was, she did, you know, crack and that.
But she was smoking weed and she was just like, I don't smoke crack anymore.
Exactly. I don't smoke crack anymore, but I smoke weed. Right. So I was like, you know, maybe this is a safe person that I can share that I am struggling with meth addiction. So I remember telling Keisha, breaking down in her kitchen, like, you know, like real tears and real sadness. And she supported me. That was my first, it's my first fellow in recovery or addiction or anything. That's the first person that I told. And I was able to stay sober for 7 months after that. But I knew that if I wanted to really kick this habit, I would have to start by getting a therapist. I didn't know where to start, but I knew that there was a children and family therapist office like a few blocks away. So I brought my insurance card and they took my insurance. So I started going to this family therapist.
At that point, are you doing this makeup stuff on social media or not yet?
So I am doing, so I started doing my my makeup on social media in 2013 with my show Bathroom Kiki.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm working at Sephora.
Okay.
Right. So I'm not relapsing as much because I have a job. and it's in beauty, so I can't show up all, but I would relapse still and show up with gaunt eyes and gaunt face, and they'd be like, is everything okay with you? So I got into therapy in 2015, and my therapist, beautiful Hispanic lady, she's like, listen, you're smoking meth, you need recovery. What I provide here is not what you need.
Is a meeting.
Yeah, you need, so, but I'm in my mind, I'm like, bitch, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I need therapy, and I'm gonna come back here, and every week. So every week I would basically go back to this therapist and be like, yeah, I was smoking meth. I'm still in that point where there's nothing wrong with it in my mind.
The consequences aren't enough where you're
Not
like,
enough.
I need to make a change.
I'm depressed, I'm isolating, but I'm not experiencing insanity.
Sure.
Right. So she's like, oh, you need recovery. So I stay with her for about 1.5 years, 2 years. And then she leaves her practice. So I have to get another therapist. And the first day she says, no, we're signing you up for a recovery program ASAP, because therapist said, I'm not even going to be here for more than 6 weeks. So you need to.
She was responsible.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, it's not going to work.
No, it's not going to work. And she went and signed me up for an IOP, intensive outpatient, at the center without my permission, without me knowing.
Well, that's suspect.
Yeah, I don't know how she did it, but she's like, listen, next week your session is at this meeting at the center. That's where you're gonna go, right? So it's my first that I went to IOP. It was my first time being in a room with people trying to recover, sharing my story, and that was in 2019. That's the same year that I moved to this apartment in Harlem. So I moved to the city and started my recovery the same year, right? But funny enough, right before I decided that I was gonna be in recovery for good and stay in recovery, funny story. So I'm in the food stamp office. I'm broke. Okay, I'm a broke, struggling, skinny meth addict in Manhattan, right? I'm broke. I need my food stamps. My benefits are being cut off. I go to the food stamp office, and the only thing that I can think about is, damn, I wish I had some weed. I wish I had a joint, right? So as I'm leaving the food stamp office, as the doors of the elevator open on the first floor, there's a perfectly rolled joint sitting right in front of the elevator. And I think to myself, oh shit, this is God.
Yeah,
thank you,
course.
God.
Yeah.
This is, you knew I needed this. So I take this joint, I take it about 2 blocks to 17th between 7th and 8th, and I sit on a stoop. I light this joint. I take 2 big inhales of this joint, and literally the moment that the breath left my lips, I was like, oh shit, this is not weed. Because the sky went gray. It
was like PCP.
It was PCP. It was a joint laced with PCP.
Yeah.
So and then everything. People were moving fast. I was moving slow. The sky was gray. So I immediately know that this joint is not weed, and I lose disconnection with reality. PCP.
Yeah, it fucks you up.
My God.
Getting wet.
I was like, I went from 1 minute knowing who I was, where I lived, where I was going, where I came from, to the next minute not knowing where the fuck I lived, not knowing how. Because remember, I just moved to the city. This is still 2019. I just moved into this new apartment, and I'm down here to get my EBT. So I hop on the train. I say to myself, okay, well, if I hop on the train and I go to 125th, I know that I live around 125th. I can make it home from there. I get on the train, and I am having this outer body experience where there's this orange glow coming off of my hand, and my eyes are wide, and I'm like terrified, and I'm hallucinating. So I sit down, and these 2 men walk on the train holding this giant Islamic tablet.
Wow.
One of them is on one side and the other's on the other side.
Like that old school Nation of Islam thing?
Yes.
Yeah, 5%ers, whatever.
Honey, I don't
dressed
know.
as Israelites kind of thing?
They were dressed. They had the garb on.
Yeah, I know those folks.
So holding
those are my brethren.
Oh, Al, yes. Okay.
Keep going, please.
So they're holding this tablet. Remember, I'm high on PCP. They bring this tablet and they sit it right in front of me, Dave.
They see you. They've clocked you.
They clocked me. They don't know. they sit down in front of me. I'm high out of my mind. And I think to myself, I'm like, bitch, this is the end of life. This must be
last rites,
yeah,
the whole thing.
Right. This must be how it happens. People don't talk about death like this.
Thank you.
It's okay. People don't talk about right. Nobody's ever come back from the death to say, oh,
these guys are the guys that show up.
Exactly. So I'm thinking to myself, oh, these must be the death bringers, right? So they sit down. I'm fearful. I'm scared out of my mind. And
well, PCP it's not gonna be not scary.
Girl, let me tell you something. It was not fun. So I realized, okay, these men are not here to steal my soul or to take me to whatever. They get off the train, and I get off the train at 125th. And I must have looked a mess. I must have looked crazy because I could still remember some guy, these two ladies. I got off the train. I walked up the stairs. This guy looked at this lady and they laughed at me. And I'm like, and then the guy says, look at that nigga's lips. Look at his lips. He got that white all over his lips. So can I not say the end?
No, you can say whatever you want.
Okay. So I get off the train. I walk up the stairs and this guy's like, look at that nigga's lips. And you know, like that white, dry.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So
I think it just came out of my nose. That's
it did. So then I still don't know where I live. I just moved into this building and I pull out these keys out of my pocket and I say, if this key opens the apartment door that I think I live in, I must live there. PCP, total disconnection with reality. So I turn the key, and lo and behold, thank God, honey. And then the first thing I did was I called one of my friends, and I'm like, Jackie, is this real life?
Right.
Am I really alive? Are you alive? As total. But that's when I knew. I was like, okay, you got to take this recovery shit seriously.
You have a serious drug
Oh
problem.
yeah, yeah. I was like, okay, this is something serious. So. Now that's 2019. I am living in this apartment. I'm a drug addict. I'm inviting people over to my apartment to use drugs. I'm having sex parties in my empty, non-furnished apartment. That is, you know what I mean? I'm inviting strangers over. And
sex parties on meth is just wall-to-wall meth and sex.
Yes. It's wall-to-wall meth and sex, but there's
no like hors d'oeuvres or cocktails.
Oh, no. Nobody can smoke meth like a gentleman. Right. I know I can't.
Right. It's just, you go in there and it's
balls I don't even need to know your name. It's horrible, for the person who wants it. So I remember I invited these guys over to my house, and 3 of them went in my bathroom, and they were in there for 3 hours. I was banging, knocking. They were in there for 3 hours doing whatever, who knows what. And they get out, and they immediately go to leave, right? And I'm like, I invited you guys over here, So they leave, and they leave. Guess what? They leave on the counter. A joint, another joint.
Oh, God.
Right. So I'm now sitting in my apartment alone, annoyed. They left. I picked this joint up and I start to take a hit of this joint. 2 hits in. And I'm like, bitch, this ain't weed either. It was not weed. This shit was laced with crack, okay? Or PCP or something. I don't know what it was laced with, but this is the universe. The universe always sends me these laced, kid, you want to smoke some weed? Go ahead. So,
you don't smoke weed anymore, right?
No, I don't. So, but honestly,
I bet it was PCP again.
You think so?
Yeah.
Everything in my room turned blue. Everything in the room turned. I smoked it. Everything in the room turned blue, and I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna go to sleep, if I wake up, I'm alive. Okay, and if I don't, I had a good run. But I woke up the next morning, and I was like, oh, okay, everything is okay. That was I don't know. It's very scary nights to me, and I had like an outer body experience.
Yeah, I mean, are you kidding me? This is what happens.
Yeah.
So you realize you need recovery, but you're not there yet. You've had 2 horrible, traumatic PCP weed lacings or something.
Yes.
But you're still doing meth and still having sex parties and still living incredibly
recklessly.
tough. Are you doing did you do the outpatient?
So now it's 2019 and I go to outpatient meetings, right? I go to a meeting every single week.
You're a drug addict.
I know I'm a drug addict.
You're telling people you're a drug addict and you're using.
And I'm using and I'm regretting it.
Yeah.
Right. So
that's a hard place.
Yeah. After those guys left, I made the decision to never invite anybody over to my house ever again to use drugs. If I wanted to use drugs with somebody, I would have to go to their place and ruin their
That's like your harm reduction.
Exactly. It was the beginning of harm reduction. It was the beginning of me making it more difficult for me to use this substance.
Here, hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Are you having fun?
I am having a good time. I'm having a great time.
Very
and
good.
bitch, she even got me on camera. Look at that.
There you go.
Okay, you got me on camera, girl.
It's all happening.
Okay.
So what happens then?
So now I'm in IOP, right? And I'm going to meetings, I'm attending groups, and I decide that I'm not hosting anymore in my apartment. I would always travel. That's my harm reduction. So I thought that would be safer for me to travel out to people's houses, but it actually made it even more dangerous because these people now, I go to a person's house, they're in control of the drugs, the dosing,
what it is,
whatever,
the environment,
the environment, the complete environment. They could be recording, they could be doing whatever. Because in these scenes, in this ChemSex drug, crystal meth scene, it's a lot of deviousness, it's a lot of manipulation, it's a lot of exploitation, it's a lot of explain
the ChemSex scene a little bit, just straight up.
Right. So the ChemSex scene, especially when it comes to gay men and meth, is so rampant all throughout the community. If you go on any one of these websites like Adam for Adam or Grindr even, you will be confronted with the drug crystal meth. And basically it's sort of like an anonymous sort of scene where I don't even need to basically know you at all. You know, I can meet you on this website.
To have sex and use.
Exactly. And I did that, Dave. I've had sex probably 2,000 times. You know what? 3,000, like enough. I've had enough sex. And I would use meth with anybody. I would go over to anybody. I'd go to New Jersey. I'd go to Connecticut. If you were in Brooklyn, you were in Staten Island. I'm traveling because I want to get high, right? And have this unprotected. So ChemSex, this world it's an unprotected sex world where you don't say, like, you're not like, oh, when's the last time you got an STI check? Nobody is asking that. You know, it's
total risky, rampant shit.
Absolute risk. Then there's people in this ChemSex scene. Not everybody smokes meth. Some people use intravenously.
Sure.
Some people, it's very scary. It's very, very scary. Like,
when I did meth, I used to shoot meth.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it did not treat me good. And I never had sex on it.
Oh.
But it was not a good experience.
Yeah.
I wound up using it with heroin.
Okay.
I started using it without heroin because I didn't have
Is that
heroin.
called a speedball?
I think it's called a goofball with meth. With coke, it's a speedball.
Okay. Oh, okay. Why do they call it a goofball?
Because I don't know.
It's like a goofy thing to do?
Well, no.
Uppers and downers?
Because coke and heroin is speedballing.
Okay.
Meth and heroin they call goofball because they don't want to call it speedball. And a goofball is a funny slang, but there's nothing goofy about it. You know, shooting meth is scary. And shooting meth and heroin,
terrifying.
I preferred it to just shooting meth though, because I got comfort out of it. Like meth never hit me in the right way, but that's just brain chemistry stuff.
Right.
So like you're in the deepest end of the ocean, going to crazy places.
Yes, going all the time, going different hotels, motels. I'm talking sex parties, sex dungeons.
What about the Zoom thing?
I never got into the crystal meth party Zoom thing because because I was making content. Remember, I was making makeup content and I was bathroom Kiki, you know. So me going on this Zoom, I always wanted to keep my anonymity. I always kept the two lives very separate. Like, oh, I'm
not on this screen fucking and doing meth.
No.
I'm on this screen doing makeup and entertaining people.
Exactly.
And that's it.
That's it. Right. Because I didn't want that attached to me.
But everything else in the
everything else from the hotels to the slings to the strangers to
the slings and the swings, right?
The slings and the swings and the drug dealers, having sex with drug dealers just to get high. You know what I mean? Having sex literally with anybody, Dave, and I'm talking about anybody. Like, and you know, my mind was already exposed to to things that I didn't want to do with that guy I used to give massages to. You know what I mean? I was already exposed to needing to get something from somebody that I was not sexually attracted to nor physically attracted to in order to get high or eat or something. It was survival, you know, for me. I mean, I don't know about the addiction, but at some point things started to switch in my mind, like, oh, this is no longer fun. This is now becoming, I'm broke. I'm broken. I'm stealing food from the grocery store.
Sure.
I'm stealing from clothing stores.
And I'm sure there's echoes of the first rape in your mind at all times.
All the time.
Because basically you're echoing that experience, and you're never getting away from it, because every experience is a piece of that experience.
Exactly. It's almost as if I left that party with a party gift that I did not ask for. I left that party with a gift basket that had addiction, unresolved trauma, shame, you know? And I'm like, it tastes good, you know? But I have to say that if it were not for that experience, I probably would not be in recovery today.
No, it takes a certain level of pain and shame and all those things.
Absolutely. And I think that today,
what happened though? Like, what? I mean, you're talking about another 5 years or something,
right? So,
how did you survive those 5 years? Was there anything profoundly horrible there?
In those 5 years, I would say the things that were profoundly horrible was what I was putting myself through, which was going to different people's houses, not knowing whether they are murderers or whatever, not knowing what in sort of experience I was in for until I got there.
And it's like you're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Well, not yet. I wasn't sick and tired yet.
Right. It goes. You get to do all that stuff until you are.
Yes, exactly. And I made sure that I smoked meth everywhere. You know, like the Dr. Seuss book. Did you smoke meth in a boat? Did you smoke meth in a boat?
How would you sleep?
Oh, rarely. I was exhausted all the time, you know, because there were times there. Okay, so in between those years, I was in IOP. I was actively trying to figure out how to get clean. I was taking phone numbers, but I was still going out and using and relapsing and not really in the program at all of recovery at all, right? And it was all bad. I have thinking back on it now, because I allowed myself to be sexualized, fetishized, and used repeatedly, just for that hit, that high to, and not even to orgasm. You know,
was it partially sex work at the end? Or what? Are you just making money and spending all of it?
Well, I was not making any money. I was just.
I mean, in your life, because you have to pay for the meth.
Yeah. Well, no, not necessarily. Because if I go to your house, see, now at this point, I'm thinking, oh, if I host, I have to have the drugs. But if I travel,
you don't.
I don't have to have the drugs, and nobody's coming up in my house and fucking in my bathroom.
And no one's like, show up and give me $100 or something.
That, and then also a thing with that lifestyle, the ChemSex lifestyle, once a person finds somebody that they use meth with, they will show up. I would show up to people's houses unannounced.
Right. And say, I'm here.
I'm
hey,
ready. Yeah.
But is it expected of you to fuck the person?
Yes.
Okay, so it is sex work.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
It's like, I'm here, and what I'm agreeing to is having a sexual experience with you if you give me meth.
Yes. Exactly. That's
the contract.
Transactional.
Right.
Completely. And if there was no meth, there was no me.
Right.
You know, and my brain had tied using crystal meth to sex so fiercely that the minute I thought about sex, I would immediately think about getting high on crystal meth.
Right.
And there was no differentiation anymore.
Right.
And my brain had made that connection, and any other type of sex felt unworthy.
And you weren't interested.
And I wasn't interested. Right. So I did that traveling for a few years, right? From 2019 to 2021. In January of 2021, I got a phone call from a good friend of mine telling me that one of my best friends had passed away from a fentanyl overdose in Italy. She was doing cocaine with her husband, and they found her on the bathroom floor. And that was like a message for me from God. Like, Stephanie is 33. You are 31. This could be you if you don't take care of this.
Right.
So I think some of the more scary situations, though, after that, when like whilst traveling, would be like getting super high at people's houses and then getting kicked out in the middle of the day. You know what I mean? Everybody's at work doing things, and now here I am, eyes wide, bloodshot. And you know, that sort of uncomfort, that social anxiety, that I developed a severe social anxiety because of that, because of being high outside and being perceived.
Right. Well, you are high and you're bugged out on meth.
Right. Tweaking out.
You're in everybody's head. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Exactly. And
very scary.
Very, very, very scary.
Because also it's the opposite of being in someone's house and fucking, where the doors are closed, the shades are drawn, you're in your own fantasy, where maybe you're connected in the high. Right. But when you're on the street, you're totally vulnerable. Yeah. And like, what do they know? Da, 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 you know, and all those thoughts. Do they know I'm high? Right. Then that's when the paranoia sets in, the irrational paranoia. Are they following me? Am I being watched? Or, you know what I mean? Oh, this person. Then that's when the consequences started to get bad, because now I'm going through psychosis. Like, I've just started to develop a light psychosis. Even though I'm in IOP, I'm developing this light psychosis where shadow people and stuff.
Well, the minute that I would start smoking, I would start hearing voices. You know, I would one of the worst things about my psychosis is that I thought that my parents were kidnapped by some very intelligent kidnappers, and that they were holding them hostage in the apartment next door. Right. And
so the idea was that your parents were the kidnappers?
No,
that your parents were kidnapped, and you would hear them.
Yes,
through
and
the
I would
door.
hear their voices. Right, I would, because I'm high. I'm going through psychosis. I would hear their voices, and I would think that they would be next door. I'd be like, I bang on the wall, I bang on the door. It was.
What are your neighbors thinking?
Oh my god, a horrible. I'm like, and then that apartment luckily did not have anybody living in it, so I thought that these intelligent kidnappers would bring my parents. Anyway, the psychosis basically told me that wherever I went to go smoke meth, my parents, these kidnappers, would drive my parents
crazy
to that place and have them sit outside and watch me.
I'm sure there was some like weird self-preservation thing that said, if your parents knew you were getting high, you might stop. Right. So they're here. Right. Because we need to fucking stop.
Right. And then it's so crazy. Like, I would hear women, like, in my ear, when I would hear voices, I'd hear women screaming for help. Like, it was scary, very scary. And
sounds terrifying.
It's very terrifying. And then I would, after leaving people's houses high, I would normally either have my bike or my skateboard, and depending on what time of the day it was, I would decide how I was getting home. Like, I had severe social anxiety every single time I smoked meth. And it would tell me that the people walking down the street were aware.
Right. Everybody knew.
Everybody knows. Everybody knew. People were standing. If I looked outside the window from somebody's house and I just saw somebody standing waiting for the bus,
they were in on it.
They were in on it. Yes, exactly. My parents were even in on it.
Yeah.
My parents were in on being kidnapped.
Somehow.
Yeah. You know, because psychosis...
It's terrifying. Terrifying.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay. Yeah, so psychosis is terrifying. I put myself through so much other terrifying shit on top of that. Like, I would ride my bike all the way on the West Side Highway, on the fucking highway.
It's some meth fucking shit, though.
Yeah, it is some meth shit. It's crazy shit. I'm talking about, like, riding my bike on the fucking West Side Highway.
And when you see someone on the bike on the highway, you're like, that dude's got to be on drugs.
Shit.
It's
a fact.
Yeah, of course.
It's a fact. Because, you know.
Yeah.
Right. So very, very scary times, because here I am now. Also, I'm creating content, so I'm thinking that people know me.
Did anybody write anything in the comments like, dude, it's obvious? Like,
no,
they didn't know.
No. I was an expert at hiding it,
Right?
Because I would wear my my skincare. I would try.
You would hide.
I would hide it.
Yeah.
I would hide it from everybody. But it stopped. It stopped working. It stopped working on me. I was unable to lie to myself anymore. At a certain point, I was deteriorating slowly, and I was gaunt. My mind was starting to deteriorate, and that's when I knew, oh, if I don't stop this, not only will my parents die, psychosis, right? Not only will my parents die, I'm gonna go absolutely insane, and then I'm gonna be committed. And then I'm gonna lose my apartment, and that
these are all definite possibilities, though.
Because
your parents are gonna you're gonna lose them.
They're
gonna die, but it's more like you're gonna lose them because you're gonna be gone.
In my mind, no. In my mind, these kidnappers were abusing my parents. We're holding a gun to my mind.
Right.
We're holding a gun to my parents. And saying, give us money or else, your kid, whatever. I don't know what the
deep storyline.
Yes, deep storyline.
It's probably built out of the fact that you thought you were betraying them or something.
That, and also if they knew what I was up to, then it would, it would
be bad.
It would be horrible.
How did they not know?
Well, because my parents live in Brooklyn and I'm gay. So my parents are not really interested in what type of sex I'm having. So I never really had to bring that up in conversation. My parents, and then on top of that, I was always a very skinny, small, unhealthy looking young gay twink. So that's just what I looked like. I was just gaunt. My mom accepted it. My dad accepted it. I was going through depression, but it was not something that I thought was noticeable. I'm sure other people notice if it didn't say anything.
So where does the end start to come?
Okay, so the end, it starts here, right? It starts with me going through the psychosis, losing my mind, and hearing voices. And I decide, okay, I'm gonna try rehab for the first time. It's the end of 2021, and I look up a rehab, the South Beach Treatment Facility in Staten Island.
Okay.
And I go there. I do a 21-day stint, right? It's first time in rehab. Within 2 weeks, I'm out again. I'm out using meth again because, I'm not ready. So I stay out. I'm going to Zoom meetings, though. I'm not able to go to the in-person meetings because I'm unconfident.
You're not ready.
I'm not ready. Yeah, but I'm going to Zoom meetings with my camera off.
And that South Beach place didn't really help.
You know what? It did? It showed me that, I can begrudgingly stay sober from crystal meth for a couple of weeks.
It showed you also the next level.
Yeah.
It shows you who's out there,
right,
where you're at, and you weren't ready. It showed you that you weren't ready.
Absolutely. And I was out for another 2 years after that.
I was in treatment a million times. I was in detoxes a million times before I got sober. So it's totally understandable.
So, oh really? How many times did you go to treatment?
I mean, I went to detoxes in New York probably 10 times.
Really?
And then Florida, and then California, I probably went to detoxes 10 times. And then I went to a 28-day program in Westchester. I went to a 28-day program in Connecticut. I went to a 6-month program in Delray Beach.
Okay, so you toured the country.
I went to a 28-day program in somewhere in Santa Monica or something and then I did a lot of stuff. I was on methadone for 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. You look great.
Thanks.
Your eyes are clear. You have that.
Well, I'm 10 and a half years sober. I'm going to come up on 11 years in August, So it's fuck it. But I mean, that's what recovery is.
Yeah.
Recovery is recovering your fucking life.
Yeah.
So let's get back to the end.
Yeah. So
we can't make it about me.
No, I'm interested. Listen, you're 10 years plus 10 plus years. That inspires me too. It inspires me.
But the whole deal, it inspires me too. But the whole deal is exactly what you're doing. It's all we're doing is being let's get today.
Yes.
And there is no end. It's a stream.
Right.
There is no end.
Right.
There is no destination.
No.
It's just
you're never cured. You recovered. It's just a constant.
You do the thing and try to have a good time. You know what I mean? And that's the deal. But I want to hear what's
So
the
let me
end
finish.
like?
So boom. So I go to rehab. It's 2021. I go to my Zoom meetings, and then in 2024, a fellow at a Zoom meeting is like, I just got back home from this rehab in Texas. I think that you should check them out. I ignore her for the first half of the year. I'm still not ready. I'm like, girl, please. This rehab in Texas. I can't even get out to Connecticut. You know what? Like
Staten Island.
right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I do the research on the rehab and I look it up, and it's this luxurious rehab. They have pools. I'd never seen a rehab with pools.
Right.
They had a sauna, a jacuzzi, massages on Friday. I was like, oh, this is not a rehab. This is a vacation.
You're like, fuck it.
Yeah. So I figure out how to get the insurance to go to this rehab. I had to like pay the deductible.
What was
or
it
something.
called?
The rehab is called Greenhouse Treatment Facility.
Nice.
in Grand Prairie, Texas. Shout out to you, Greenhouse.
Nice.
Now, so I went there from November 24th to November 11th to December 13th. Right? Did that first
29 days.
29 days, not even 30. And I get back home. Oh, it's the best experience. Everything is taken care of. Everything is taken care of. They do your laundry. They feed you 3 times a day. You can go for as many meals as you want. And so I'm gaining weight. This is the first time in my adult life that I have healthy, like I look healthy, that I've gained. I went from weighing 135 or 136 upon entry of that rehab to weighing 186.
Okay.
You know, so like maybe we're 176, something like 40. So I go there, I leave, I get my certificate, and by December 31st, I'm like, you know what?
I can use again.
I can use one more time. I'm not gonna bring it into the new year with me.
Right.
If I'm not gonna bring it into the new.
One more time.
You know. So I go, and on December 31st, I use. Right. Actually, a few blocks away, I use, and I'm out until February 13th. I'm out using drugs. Now 2025 is ruined, right, for me, because I've already started using drugs. Right. And I decide, you know what? I'm now frail again. I need to go back to where I know the recovery was happening. And that's in Texas, the treatment. So I flew back to the same treatment facility for the second time.
What's it called again?
It's Greenhouse Treatment Facility.
Greenhouse Treatment.
Yes, Greenhouse Treatment Facility in Grand Prairie, Texas. So I fly back out there because I'm like, I loved how I looked when I got back home. I was healthy. I did the thing again, the whole treatment facility again, and I got back home, and now I'm able to stay clean. Right, I'm staying clean. I go from February 15th to March 15th, and I'm able to stay clean.
Meetings
every day, 90 and 90. Finding a sponsor, all of the things,
right,
fellowship, fellowship, and it's June 29th or June 30th. And I go back out and I relapse and I use again, and it was the last time that I was like, oh, this is it. If I'm out, I'm just gonna stay out for a while, and because I always know I can go back to rehab if I need to.
Right.
But I remember I was out from the end of June to August 25th of 2025. And I remember coming back home from a giant relapse, and sitting on my couch, the TV off with the lights off in my entire apartment, everything off, just staring out, realizing, Dean, you don't have another one of these in you. You're frail. You don't have food in your fridge. You don't have money. You don't have anything.
It's not cute.
It's not cute anymore.
Right.
You're experiencing psychosis. You think your neighbors are after you. You think your parents are kidnapped. You're going.
And I'm sure whatever you said on the show, it's like 20 times worse.
Oh, on the
like whatever you said here in the time.
Oh,
it was like, you know what I mean?
I'm saying it here.
Yeah.
But trust me,
when you're in it,
it's horrible. Horrible. It was I thought that I was being targeted. That's a common phenomenon.
I know.
That's
it's
people
meth psychosis.
Yeah, meth psychosis. Yeah. People think that they're being targeted. So I decide, okay, it's August 25th. I'm going back
to Prairie.
It's a greenhouse. And then I go, I stay there for 2 weeks. I get out September 13th, and I've been clean ever since.
No way.
Yeah.
So what changed?
I knew that I'll tell you when I had my breakthrough moment. I had my breakthrough moment the second time that I went to Greenhouse. It was on a Monday night, and AA had come to the rehab, Alcoholics Anonymous, and we were reading out of the big book. And this man named Aaron, who was chairing the meeting, he read the doctor's opinion. And it wasn't the first time I had heard the doctor's opinion, but it was the first time that I heard this part where he read that the alcoholic doesn't realize that he has an allergy. The addict and the alcoholic don't realize that the response that they are having to the substance is almost like an allergy, in a sense where when I take one, I need to take a second.
You're defenseless against the next
one. Exactly.
And that penetrated you somehow.
I even audibly said, because it was the first time I realized, I can't just take one pull.
Right.
I can't just do it for a night. It hit me and I said, oh shit. And it was like a light bulb went off in my mind.
And you were like, I have to accept this.
I have to accept it. I now know that this substance, if I smoke it at 12 a.m., I'm going to be, I can say, kiss that day goodbye.
Right.
And then that day I'm smoking all day. I kiss that fucking week goodbye.
Sure.
And then my body's going to be dysregulated for 90 days. Or, or whatever the case.
However until you're ready to come back to earth. It's crazy.
Yeah. So that's how
you got into 12-step stuff at that point?
So at that point, now I'm very proudly part of the Fellowship of Crystal Meth Anonymous.
How do you go to AA too, NA, or just CMA?
I go to CMA, NA. I used to go to AA when I was scared to go to CMA and NA. Just to hear the message.
Sure.
Just to hear, that people can overcome this. And actually on September 3rd, I'll have 6 years clean from alcohol.
Amazing.
So
you've been really around recovery
for
hardcore.
Yeah.
And you just let the crystal meth and the sex get through the cracks until finally it was the cracks. And
and I was falling in them.
That's amazing though, because you thought you were an alcoholic up till then?
No, I knew I was not an alcoholic. Okay. I literally put down alcohol. My grandfather died of alcoholism at 50. And I was like, you know what? I'm a meth addict. I need to make this easy on myself and on my body. Let me just put down alcohol. Let me not smoke cigarettes. At that point I was still smoking weed, but it was the meth that had its grip on me. And
what do you think that turning the corner really was? Like if somebody out there was like a crazy meth person, like a meth sex person, like what do you think, like what would you say to them? Like what's required like to turn the corner?
To change their lives?
Yeah.
Vigorous honesty with self, coming to terms with the fact that addiction is a disease, and that it's not something that they are not bad people. You're not a bad person. It's a disease that has killed millions of people, and that meth sex life, the party ends at some time. The party definitely ended for me at some point, and that's when I knew that the way I was living was going to either end with me dead, in jail, or in some sort of mental institution. And what I would say to somebody that is struggling with crystal meth addiction in that ChemSex life is remember who you are. Remember who you were before you got into that ChemSex. But remember what your identity was before crystal meth ripped it away and gave you its identity. That's what I had to do, was remember who I am, remember why I'm here, and know that I deserve better. You deserve so much better. And crystal meth ends in one of three ways: jails, institutions, and death. And if you overcome it, if you get out on the other side, you are a fucking miracle.
Well, you're a fucking miracle, Dean.
Thank you.
And I loved hearing your story.
Thank you.
Did you have a good time?
I had a great time.
Was it touch and go for a sec when my nose started running?
No, honey. Listen.
Was that the low light for you?
No. Honestly, it'll be a part that I always remember.
Good.
But Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
I'm so glad you came, and I'm so glad we could hear your story. And you're going to come to our film festival.
I will come to your film
festival. And
festival.
You'll bring some recovery folk?
I will bring some recovery folk. And first, I wanted to gift you a teeth whitening pen. This is my new teeth whitening pen.
No way. Does it work?
Yes. Does it work?
Dean Modah Smile. This is going to work?
Yeah, look at my teeth.
Dude, are you just drawing white on your teeth?
No, this is my peroxide-free formula, right? Basically, it's a 12%.
Was this whole thing a long commercial for Modah Smile? What the fuck is happening here? I need this stuff. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Excellent. It's excellent. And I'm also going to give you one for your dad.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're so
Dean.
welcome. Modah Smile is.
I might have a gift for you, and please, I might have, if I don't have my gift for you here on Friday, I have a gift for you.
Oh, thank you.
So you better fucking come.
All right, I will. I will.
This was so cool.
This was cool. I'm so grateful. Thank you. But if you wanted to find those,
how would one find you or Modah Smile?
You know,
Dean
one
Modah?
would find me on the corner selling it for a really reasonable price. But if I'm not there, then you can find me on Instagram at Modah, MODAH. On TikTok at Dean Modah. I create recovery content every single day. Bow, 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 bow. And if you're looking for my whitening pen, how I keep my teeth so dramatically white, you can find that. Thank you. You can find that at www.modahsmile.com. MODAHSMILE.com for your clean and serene, brilliantly white smile.
No, my daughter's always telling me my teeth are yellow.
Oh,
so thank you, Dean.
It's gonna work. It works within 3 days. You just have to do it every single night.
Right on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dave.
Appreciate it.